which, by the way, may have been contracted earlier. It was those bonuses that were paid in December instead of January. What I really think drove that were the losses. I think the losses that John Thain didn't have a lot to do with other than he came in. He came in with a spectacular record, and not only at Goldman Sachs, but what he did at the New York Stock Exchange. I mean, he was Mr. Fix-It, and he has a lot of talent. But more importantly than that, I think there is obviously a challenge on keeping the financial advisors. They're entrepreneurs in a way. They all have their own book. In fact, I happened to deal with Merrill, and I can recall what they were like 15, 20 years ago, how they operated, and how now was basically one person. Now you have a team in most cases, and they're really outstanding teams, 3 or 4, 6 or 8, whatever. And it's almost like you got your own little private group. And so they're really doing that right. And I think there's a good chance that part can grow and prosper. And what I'm really more worried about is the investment banking side. To make this thing really work, I think you need to have the investment bankers, the commercial bankers, somehow get on the same page. And I have been told that a good number of the investment bankers are sort of going the regional or the startup, and in fact some have enough in the bank that they're going to take a 6 or 12 or 18-month sabbatical, figure out what the financial service industry is going to look like. I think we are at a point here that it is, it's like walking, on sand. I mean, if you've ever been in a riptide, or you've been out on the beach. I grew up in Michigan, and you're standing there, and you're standing, but the sand's moving from underneath. It's a funny feeling, and I think that's where we are. I think that Thain, if he'd have stayed around, I think he really would have been a presence that would have been very helpful in keeping the investment bankers and that whole part.
These CEOs had 2 bosses.